fourth grade. So we're going to continue with our practice of multiplication. And actually, we're going to switch gears and keep everyone on multiplication. So instead of moving forward with problem set 14, we're actually going to skip all the way to problem set 34 because, like I said, we're going to continue with multiplication. All right. So we're looking at this problem. It says 30 times 24, and the directions say use the associative property to rewrite the expression, solve using discs, and then complete the number sentence. Okay, so the associative property says that I can put this 24 times 30, and I'm actually going to end up with the same product that I do here. And then the associative property also says that I could say, well, what is 30? I could say 10, 10, 10. Well, if I add those 10s up, I'm going to end up with 30. All right, so this is what it's asking you. Okay. Are you ready? So if I took a 10 away, well, this is also saying, let me go back. This is also saying 3 times 10. So 10 plus 10 plus 10, or 3 times 10, or 10 3 times, which is what you see here. 10 3 times, which would be 30. All right. So if I'm looking right here, well, we just broke that apart. So like on my Post-it note, it's actually 3 times 10, okay? So 3 times 10 is going to be 30 times 24, which is what this problem says. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm starting off with 24 discs. So I'm going to put 24 here. So 4 in the ones place, and then 2 in the tens place. And now you see my 24, okay? But I'm going to move it to the left 3 times. So I'm going to move this over. 1, 2, 3, 4. But that was just times 10. I'm actually going to do that 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So that was times 10. That was times 10. So do you see my 10 3 times? 10 3 times. All right. Now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to move my 2 10s over. 1, 2. But that was just times 10. I need to do times 30. Okay? So now you can see I've moved my original discs over 10 times once, 10 times twice, 10 times 3 times. And I should have gotten a colored ink pen. Let me go get one. Through the power of recording, I'm back. All right, so here were my original discs. I started off with 4 in the, mechanical pencils are not my favorite. 4 in the ones place, and oh boy, mechanical pencils. And 2 in the tens place, and then I moved them over. Oh boy. Once, twice, 3 times. once, twice, 3 times. All right. So now I'm going to count. I'm going to count what I have. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, if we remember what we've been talking about in math, I actually can't have a 12 in the tens place, but I can move over 10. Oh boy, mechanical pencils. I need to give these away as a prize. All right, so I can move over, bundle this group of 10 and move it over. All right, so now how many do I have left? Well, I have a 0 here, and I have these 2 left, and then I'm going to add up all of the dots I have over here, or discs, as the paper likes for you to call them. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I have my product. And then I'm actually going to use another strategy to double check. So I'm going to go ahead and use the traditional algorithm. Remember, I'm going to keep my place value. And indeed, I do get 720. All right, so let's go ahead and do that one more time, because I think that is kind of an interesting way of looking at the math. So if we start off with 40 times 43, well, I know that that is 10. Oh my goodness. Plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, or 4 times 10. It's the same thing, just written differently. All right, so I can actually pull my 40 apart and turn it into 4 times 10 times 43. So I'm going to start with 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 in the ones place, and then 4 in the tens place. Now this one says times 40. So how many times am I going to have to pull over those discs? All right. So here's one time. Actually, I think I'm going to start with the ones place first. 1 time. 2 times. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay? But I have to do it one more time because it's times 40, not times 30. All right, so I've done it 3 times now. Nope, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so here is my times 10, times 10, times 10, times 10. Now I've got to move my tens place over. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'm going to do it 4 times because that's what my problem says. 4 times 10, or 40. So I've got to go ahead and pull them over 4 times. 2, 3. All right. So let's go ahead and count to see how many I have now. All right, so remember, these are gone. They're over here. And these are gone. They're over here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and count to see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I can't have a 12 there. So I'm going to have to bundle up 10 and bring 1 over. Okay? Now I have right over here in my ones place, I have a 0. In my tens place, I have a 2 because I only have these 2 left. And then I'm going to count to see how many I have in my hundreds place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, so I actually cannot have 17 in the hundreds place, but I need to go ahead and bundle up a 10, bring that over, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a 1. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and plug in. I'm going to do this again, 40 times 43, and I'm going to do the standard algorithm. 0 times 3, 0. 4 times 3, 12. I'm going to put a happy face here to keep my place value. 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 4, 16. Now add up my partial products, and indeed, I have gotten 1,720. Over here, it was 720. All right, so let's go ahead and set up these next few ones, because on the back, as you can see my math from the front, but you can see you're basically being asked to do the exact same math. All right, so let's go ahead and set this up. That's going to be 10 here and a 37 here, because when I break this apart via the associative property, that is saying 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 30, or 3 times 10. 10 3 times. All right, so let's see. That's going to be a 37 too, because I can go ahead and put parentheses around the 2 other numbers, like what you see here, due to the associative property. All right, so I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ones and 1, 2, 3. 3 tenths. How many times do I have to bring those over? Because it's times 30, okay? So I've got to bring them over once. Ooh, let's start with the ones place. Once, twice, 3 times. Then I've got to bring over my tens. Once, twice, 3 times. Okay? Remember, you cannot have a digit bigger than 9 in any one of these values. All right. Let's go ahead and turn the page. 20 times 27. Well, you can still use Old Trusty. All right, so I'm gonna put ones, oh my goodness, tens, hundreds, thousands, and thousands. Place value is never going to change on you. This will always be the ones place. This will always be the tens place. This will always be the hundreds place, thousands place, 10,000s place, and so on and so on. All right, so I'm going to start off with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones and 2 tens. Well, how many times am I going to move that over? So that is 2 times 10, or I could write it as 2 multiplied by 10 times 27. Okay? So I can move, now if you remember, times 10 means I'm moving it over left 1 time, but this actually tells me I need to do it 2 times. Okay? So I'm going to move that over twice and move that over twice. All right. Same thing with this problem. Did I give you the answer? No, you're going to have to work that one out. All right. Oh boy. Mechanical pencils are not really my thing. ones place, tens place, hundreds place, thousands place, 10,000s place. All right. 40 is the same thing as 4 times 10. 4 times 10 is 40. So I can write this as 4 times 10 times 31, or I can say 4 times 10 times 31. All right, so I'm going to put a 1 here and a 3 here. How many times do I have to move over my discs? Okay. Use the associative property without place value discs to solve. All right, so basically they're trying to take this away and they just want you to start writing it like this. All right, so let's do one together. Well, 40 can be written as 4 times 10 times 34. Or, because of the associative property, I can say 4 times, and I can put my brackets around 10 times 34. Okay, well, if you take away my place value, I'm going to do my multiplication like this. What would your product be? Okay, all right. Then we're going to do the same thing. So 50, that's the same thing as saying 5 times 10 times 43, or I can move my parentheses over here. Okay? Well, what would 43 times 10 be 5 times? 43 times 50. And, oh, I see a problem over here. Look what I did. I combined my numbers. So 34 times 40. And that is why we always need to make sure that we are paying attention to the details, because you can make simple mistakes like that. So really the problem is not 340. The problem is 40 times 34. All right, so you've got to make sure you've written down the numbers correctly, because that's a really easy mistake to make. All right. Number 4. There's a lot of math on this problem set, huh? All right. So number 4 is asking you to use the distributive property. And that looks like this. 40 times 30 plus 40 times 4. So take a moment and think about what I have done to that 34. Yep, you're right. So I put the 30 over here and I put the 4 over here. So this would be 1,200, and this would be 160. Then I'm going to add those two up. Well, that's going to be 1,360. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one. So I'm going to take 60, and then I'm going to multiply it times 20, multiply it times 5. Then I'm going to get those answers, and I'm going to add them up. So what would 60 times 20 be? What would 60 times 5 be? What would be your answer? Go ahead and do that one. All right, 4th grade. It's a lot of math. Stay strong. You can do it. You're smart kids.